I mean, anytime that you can get a robot doing the robot, you win.
Thanks for watching. Today, we have got a review of Syndicate and an exclusive hands-on demo of the indie platformer Vessel.
Plus, a preview of Prototype 2 and BioWare's latest Mass Effect 3. Xplay starts right now.
Hello and welcome to a special leap year edition of Xplay. I am Morgan Webb.
And I'm Adam Sessler. If Morgan proposes marriage and you refuse, you have to buy her fabrics.
Thanks, Finland. Coming up on today's show, we'll have the latest on Mass Effect 3. Find out why you'll want to play multiplayer before you finish the single-player story. Then we'll go hands-on with Vessel, an indie platformer that is all about technology run amok.
Plus, we've got a brutally honest review of Syndicate. This reboot of the classic strategy series features voice work from Rosario Dawson and Brian Cox. And later, a special edition of G4TV.com's feedback with Gearbox's Randy Pitchford and Epic's Rod Fergusson.
But first, let's send it over to Blair for some blood and guts.
Thank you guys for that beautiful toss. New York is a pretty gross place. No matter where you go, it always smells like someone's been sick after a 3-day bender of Scotch and Indian food in the subway during the summer when it's hot. Hobos, dial it back. So a game like Prototype 2 it's a total nightmare with a fleshy, gross virus that's consumed the entire city. Just check out this preview. You can smell the ick. Radical Entertainment's upcoming sequel, Prototype 2, picks up where the original power fantasy left off. Only this time, gamers will be in control of an all-new biomorphing anti-hero. We sat down with the game's design director to learn more.
Moving into Prototype 2, we kind of knew from the outset that what we wanted to do was move in with a new main character, a new protagonist. And one of the ideas that we hit upon that seemed incredibly exciting to us was this concept of, what about if your new character was a victim of the character that you played in the first game? And that's where James Heller comes in.
This time around, the game is split up into 3 different sections of the war-ravaged New York Zero: the quarantine yellow zone, the militarized green zone, and the disastrous red zone.
So when you're in the red zone, you're pretty much at the apex of your powers. You know, you're at the point now where you can take on pretty much everything. And I think at that point, you know, you've got all of the main bioweapon powers that you've developed over the game by consuming different creatures and sort of built yourself up. And of course, beyond that, you still have all of the different weapons of your enemies that you can use.
And there will be no shortage of superpowered villains to unleash your fury upon.
So there's a fairly wide variety of enemies in the second game. The Goliath is something that is a little bit special because, you know, anything that is 6 or 7 stories tall and can crush cars in a single bound and can also launch itself up into the air and come flying down from 30 feet up is something that you really need to pay attention to, and it's something that players have really never seen in the prototype space before.
The developers are also working hard to make sure Prototype 2 fixes some of the problems players had with the first game.
I think the biggest surprise for players of Prototype 2 is going to be how far it's actually come from the first game. The first game had so many rough edges. There was a core of awesomeness in there that I think everyone was excited about, but we never really executed on it. This is a slick experience. This is a cool AAA experience that people are going to get really, really excited about.
You can help Heller get his revenge when Prototype 2 hits shelves on April 24th.
Mass Effect 3 isn't just about Commander Shepard picking the right thing to say in order to sleep his or her way throughout the galaxy. You're never going to defeat the Reapers that way. You've got to round up allies, go on search and rescue missions, and play some online multiplayer. Here's a preview.
I'm Commander Shepard, Alliance Navy.
The battle for Earth's survival is about to begin, and it's up to Commander Shepard to save humanity by any means possible in Mass Effect 3.
The theme of Mass Effect 3 that we set out very early was survival at any cost. The Reapers coming back is it, and this is the end of life as we know it if we don't do something.
We have massive battles with bosses that are the size we've never seen before in Mass Effect. And we have sovereign-sized creatures that are 2 kilometers high. How do you fight one of these things walking around a level when its foot's as big as a 10-story building? It's far beyond anything you can do, and you have to build this thing that's going to be able to take on these enemies.
I just need you to do whatever the hell it takes to help us stop the Reapers.
You can help Shepard stop the Reapers in the game's single-player campaign by playing as a member of the Alliance Special Forces in ME3's multiplayer.
You have all these assets that you're collecting in the single-player game. One of those assets is the Alliance Special Forces. The Special Forces that are supporting Commander Shepard in his war against the Reapers and defending key locations around the galaxy.
Some good work down there.
But the Alliance Special Forces will do more than defend. They can be a critical part in the final battle against the Reapers.
What we have basically is a ranking system called the N7 rating. The N7 rating is basically all the accumulated levels of all the classes that you're currently playing. When you hit a max level with a character, level 20, you can prestige that character. Every single time you prestige, you're making that asset more powerful, and it sends the squad off to Commander Shepard as a war asset for him to use in the final battle.
And true to BioWare's tradition, the outcome of the final battle depends largely on the choices you make throughout Mass Effect 3.
Goodbye, Shepard. So there is a degree to which things like accessing multiplayer and how much of a completionist player you are, whether you sort of really get that galactic readiness rating up, that you will have more or less success in the ending.
Basically, the fate of the galaxy hangs in the balance, and ergo, the choices that we're giving you, like a lot of them literally are, not only can someone die, but an entire species can die.
What am I to you?
You're the future of the Krogan race. I'm fighting for that.
Fight hard. That's what I'll tell you. Fight hard.
Tell your friends we're coming for them.
Coming up, we will field questions from the masses in the Xplay inbox. Plus, we're going to review the reboot of Syndicate and go hands-on with the indie platformer Vessel. Then, the brains behind Borderlands and Gears of War 3 come by for a special edition of Feedback. All that and more right after this.
Wow, who delivered these pizza dipping strips?
Oh, they're not delivery. They're new DiGiorno pizza dipping strips.
With 2 sauces. Who needs delivery?
That guy?
12 pizza strips, perfect for dipping. It's not delivery, it's new DiGiorno pizza dipping strips.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
21st Century here with 2 identical, stolen cars. Luckily, the 2 cars that used to be here were both covered against theft. One through these guys, the other through 21st Century. So both cars can be replaced. But drivers who switch from Allstate to 21st save $577 a year. Call 888-GET-2121 today or visit 21st.com. 21st Century Insurance.
Dig it, 21st.
For the past 10 years, our graduates shared their stories. Now they come together for the first time.
A family, reunite as a family, and I'm feeling really good.
It's just a lot of motivation, inspiration going on.
After I graduate, I get a call, would you like to be part of the ITT commercial? I said, no, this is real. So it means it's real students, it's not just, paid actors. I thought they were going to give me a script and say good things about ITT Tech, but they told me to be honest, to be truthful, say whatever you experienced.
There was some person that I saw in the commercial that made me pick up the phone and call. You did it, and I did it because I saw that commercial and picked the phone up that day. My education's already paid for itself. Surely has. It was worth every penny.
We are educators helping people build a foundation for the rest of their lives. ITT Technical Institute, education for the future. Call 1-800-372-4052 or visit us on the web.
Sunday, G4 presents the world's toughest spy.
Your name's Bond. James Bond.
In the G4 network premiere of Casino Royale, followed by the world's toughest obstacle course in the season premiere of American Ninja Warrior, a night of premiere action on G4. Once a year, gaming stops playing and gets down to business. It's a week-long television event.
That's the game I want to play.
New consoles, new games, and new ways to play.
All the games straight to you.
E3 2012 Live starts June 4th at 3 on G4.
On the surface, Vessel may look like a cool indie platformer with a unique art style and interesting gameplay mechanics. It is also a chilling tale that shows what happens when we let sentient machines get too big for their britches. Let's send it over to Adam for a hands-on demo.
Leave it to an indie game to pave the way for originality. In Vessel, liquids of all type are not just part of the environment, they're the key to puzzle-solving strategies. So it's time to sit up and pay attention, because Strange Loop Games is about to give you a lesson in liquid physics. I'm so happy to be joined once again by John Krajewski. He is the studio head at Strange Loop Games with Vessel. For those that don't know, what's kind of the basic premise and story and gameplay in the game?
Yeah, so Vessel is a game we're working on. It's a liquid-based puzzle platformer. So you play Arkwright. He's an inventor, and a few years before the game opens, he invented these fluoros, and it's like this revolutionary source of cheap labor. At the start of the game, they're starting to change. They're starting to run amok and take over these factories and orchards and places that they work. So you have to go and figure out what's going on at these sites, and you have to get through these levels and take care of this fluoro problem that you kind of helped cause.
How do you manipulate the liquid, and does it change throughout the game?
So in the game, you can drop these, like any liquid source you find. You're not limited in the number of seeds that you can create. You can drop one of these seeds in here, and it'll attract liquid that's nearby and grow into one of these creatures, and then they're going to have different behavior. So you have different kinds of creatures you can put in the liquid, different ways you can bring it to life. And depending on how you do it, they'll have different actions, and you have to use that knowledge to solve the puzzles.
So the fluoros, they evolve throughout the game, and it sounds like it's dependent upon the environment you find them in.
Yeah. Here in this one, you have to get this. They're made out of this blue liquid that grows on the trees, and you have to fill up this pipe here. And once you do, it activates that jump pad. So it's kind of a way to access this other type of liquid. You're able to water the tree with water, and it produces these creatures, which are made out of this other liquid, and so you can kind of use their liquid form in different ways.
So this level here, we've never seen it before, so thank you so much.
That's right.
It's a boss battle in the game. If you wouldn't mind sort of just taking us through what's going on and sort of how you use the water physics to solve this problem.
So this is the end of the factory level. All through the factory level, you've been facing these creatures, these fluoros that have grown into the lava. This is kind of a new adaptation that you found, and you're looking for the source of this throughout the level, and so you kind of find it here. It's this giant tentacle creature. So yeah, so these girders, you have to maneuver them to get up and move around this factory, and to get through this level, you have to get steam into these pipes up here. So you're actually using these creatures against them. You have to spray them with water to create steam.
It's also just been announced that the composer John Hopkins, who worked on the wonderful indie film Monsters, is also involved with the game.
That's right, yeah. We're licensing his music, and we're working with him to get 10 of his tracks built into the game, so the full soundtrack is done by him, and we're taking his tracks and dynamically mixing them according to the gameplay.
Oh.
So as you're playing, it'll actually, depending on what's happening in the game, it'll mix in the different parts of the song.
Well, curiosity did make the game developer. It's very evident right here with Vessel. March 1st, coming out on Steam with console releases sometime in the future.
That's right.
John, thank you so much for stopping by. Congratulations.
Thanks, Adam.
All right, let's hand it over to Blair.
Thank you, Mr. Sessler. After the break, I'm going to talk games with Gearbox's Randy Pitchford and Epic's Rod Fergusson in a special edition of G4TV.com's Feedback. Plus, we're going to review Syndicate and answer your questions in the old Xplay inbox. We'll be right back.
The School of Game Design at the Academy of Art University is one of the top game design schools in the nation.
Making games should also be fun.
Our graduates hit the ground running and can work at the best gaming companies in the world. Call 1-800-585-ARTS, aauinfo.com. Academy of Art University, jobs for the 21st century.
Morning, boys. So
I'm working on a cistern intake valve, and the guy hands me a lockout wrench.
No way.
I'm like, what is this, a drain pipe slip knot?
Wherever your business takes you, nobody keeps you on the road like Progressive Commercial Auto. We work wherever you work. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
So, how do you feel about cash back?
I would not say I'm into it, but let's see where this goes.
Do you like to travel?
I'm all about free travel, babe. That's what I do.
Balance transfers. You up for that?
Well,
too soon.
Fortunately, there's an easier way with creditcards.com. Compare hundreds of cards from every major bank and find the one that's right for you. Creditcards.com. It's simple. Search, compare, and apply.
Calling all vampire-chasing cooking show fanatics. Enjoy all the things you love better with Time Warner Cable. Never miss a minute of your favorite shows, even if you forget to set your DVR. And forget buffering with our fastest internet. Call 1-855-547-1431 today for packages as low as $99.99 a month. And ask how you can get over 25 of the hottest premium movie channels free for 3 months. Time Warner Cable.
We've expanded again. Check out our great selection of youth furniture, lofts, princess and bunk beds. Our closeout center with deals you can't afford to miss, and our beautiful special order nursery furniture provides something for every budget. Strollers, clothing, shoes, gifts, and so much more. Worth a trip from anywhere. Visit Whims and Doodles, where your children are our children.
Welcome back to a rare leap year Xplay. If the 29th of February is your birthday, that's really gotta suck for you, Leaper. People only celebrate you every 4 years. Every week I round up G4's best and brightest for a new episode of G4TV.com's Feedback. We talk news, new releases, and everything going on in the video game world. When I was at the DICE Summit in Las Vegas this year, and the rest of the G4 staff was back at the office not working because all of their bosses were at DICE, I called in some ringers for a new episode, developers Randy Pitchford and Rod Fergusson. Welcome to a very special DICE 2012 edition of Feedback. We're here at the Video Game History Museum with some incredibly special guests as well. Past life Viking from Epic Games, Mr. Rod Fergusson. Also a guy that we've been talking to on Xplay recently as well from Gearbox, Mr. Randy Pitchford. And then the best boss in the world, the executive producer of Xplay, Mr. Wade Beckett.
Checkbook.
I know I always look forward to seeing you guys, but who were you guys most looking forward to see this year when you came here?
Rod.
There we go. Such an easy answer.
It is an easy answer. And I'm already done, so guys.
And we're out. Randy, it was really nice having you on the show, brother. Really appreciate it.
You seem like a really nice guy.
Enjoy the chocolate milk. That's on us, by the way. No problem.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I don't know, it's not, for me, it's not any specific person. It's actually just the caliber of everybody that's at the show. I mean, that's the difference for me. But we're talking about trends in the industry and the way the industry is moving, and that's what's really exciting to me.
Does Epic and Gearbox ever collaborate on a game together?
You know that we are partners. Gearbox uses Epic's amazing Unreal Engine technology.
Right.
Went to the Epic booth at GDC, and there was like a list of all the games that were built on the Unreal Engine. I was like, so everybody's using the Unreal Engine?
Pretty much. Well, that's our goal. That's one of the just things that we're trying to do for the good of the industry is just have that capabilities, out there for people.
What do you say to people that maybe don't think DLC is as important as you know it is?
I think Borderlands is a case study for DLC, right? I mean, that's where Realm Shadow came out. I was like, okay, we need to put together a 3-hour campaign, and it's not just multiplayer maps based on a lot of stuff that I think Gearbox sort of led the way on.
Now that I think about it, one of the first things that Gearbox did as a studio was we created Half-Life Opposing Force. It was its own, almost like its own product. And I think that kind of DNA was still with us, so that when it came time, when we were motivationally and momentum committed to just continuing with the Borderlands work, we kind of assembled into these, promises, but had their own, storylines and content.
Quickly before we go though, Randy, what are people at home looking forward to from Gearbox in the immediate future?
We do have Borderlands 2 in development. We're all very excited about that, and Aliens Colonial Marines, so.
I just want to thank you guys for hanging out.
And Rod, you guys actually have a kind of a cool announcement that you guys have recently started talking about.
DLC 4 is coming for Gears 3, so people who got the Season Pass, it's all part of the Season Pass love, you know, in terms of that. But March 27th, DLC 4, we got 5 new maps, we've got another 250 achievement points, all that good stuff. We got weapon skins, we've got new characters, lots of great stuff.
Well, again, thank you guys so much for being here. And again, I've said this multiple times, but thank you for supporting your communities in the way that you do. I think you guys are leading the charge, so very good stuff.
Yes.
And for you guys at home, thank you for watching Feedback. New episodes every week at g4tv.com/feedback.
After the break, we'll bravely answer questions from the Xplay inbox. Plus, we've got a brutally honest review of Syndicate. Find out if the bloody reboot of the classic strategy series is worth a buy right after this.
Ninja Warrior, next on G4.
It has begun. Diablo 3 for PC and Mac. Get it now at Diablo.com. Rated M for mature.
New Turtle Wax Ice does more than give your car a brilliance you'll be proud of. The advanced resins and protective polymers in ice create a barrier to repel dirt. It's the new hard shell finish that keeps your car cleaner longer. New Turtle Wax Ice. The smarter way to shine.
So, I'm walking down the street, just, walking, and I found myself in the middle of this parade honouring America's troops, which is actually quite fitting because Geico has been serving the military for over 75 years. Look, I know this is about the troops and not about me, right? But I don't look like that. Who can I write a letter to about this?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Viewing the world through itchy eyes isn't healthy. Clear Eyes Itchy Eye Relief has a moisturizer that restores a healthy, moist environment for up to 8 hours of soothing comfort. Clear Eyes Itchy Eye Relief. Wow.
Do you have a structured settlement from a lawsuit or an annuity? Need cash now? Struggling to make ends meet? Bills need to be paid? Even if you are getting monthly checks from a structured settlement or annuity, debt can still pile up, and it can feel like you have nowhere to turn. Peachtree can help you turn your structured settlement or annuity into cash now. Cash you can use to pay off debt, make important purchases, or avoid foreclosure. The money from your structured settlement or annuity is yours. You deserve to have it when you need it, and Peachtree can help you get it. Peachtree can help you get the money you need now without taking out a loan. Life doesn't wait. Why should you?
To find out how, call Peachtree today at 1-800-936-1214 or log on to settlementfunding.com.
Say Navy, be safe out there, keep charging.
It's still unclear what hit Hong Kong. What was that?
I want everything loaded.
Get up!
What are you doing to us? Rated PG-13.
Welcome back. I am holding an iPad, you can see that here, which represents 25% of Xplay's budget for 2012, so I better not break it while looking through the emails in the Xplay inbox. All right, our first question comes from a Crazy O'Reilly. Oh, Bill. Crazy's birthday is coming up, and he wants to know, what's the better gift, an iPod Touch or a PlayStation Vita?
Well, he's getting a good gift for
Yeah, exactly.
start that off.
And I think what's interesting about this question is that they actually are fundamentally the same price,
Right.
but they have very, very different games.
Yeah, there's not really one hard and fast answer for this. The iPod Touch is going to have cheap games. It's going to have tons of apps. It's gonna have like a more, user-friendly interface. The Vita's is not exactly the most friendly interface that I've ever seen. Yeah.
But the Vita, it has full-fledged games. They are expensive, and of course, it just launched. Even though there are a lot of games out there, there's still a limited supply, and it doesn't really fit in your pocket. But the Vita's new and neat. Personally, and I just say personally, I would take the Vita because I like Big Daddy games.
Also, a lot of people's cell phones these days have that smartphone technology in them. So if you are anticipating getting like an Android phone or an iPhone at any time in the next couple of years, the Vita might be a good choice.
And if you want to merge Adam and Morgan's ideas, just buy the N-Gage. Next, Daniel asks, does Epic have any plans to bring the Infinity Blade franchise to the Android platform?
Okay, we were just going to make up an answer.
Yeah.
We actually decided to go to Epic for their official response. Just the more boring but more truthful route.
Oh, honesty.
Yes.
Anyway, they say, quote, we have no current plans to bring the Infinity Blade franchise to other platforms.
There you go.
There you go.
But eventually they will, because it's going to make them a lot of money. Sith Lord 97 wants to know what game we are looking forward to most in the next few months.
Mass Effect 3.
Mass Effect 3. If I want to put some stuff on the outside, I would like to see Max Payne 3.
Okay.
Because I don't know. I don't know what it is that's suddenly making that game very appealing to me.
If Adam starts wearing wife beaters on the show, he's gone all the way over. And finally, Carson craves something new. He says, we've seen these same ideas repeated over and over again, war games, zombie games, etc. What concept would you like to see?
Okay, I think the obvious answer is we need more insect games. I mean, everybody, right?
Yeah, okay. I was thinking that, all these games, it's a dystopic future run by corporations. What about a utopian future where the air is really clean and everyone's generally in a good mood?
I think that sounds great.
I think there's a lot of conflict there to shoot things, right?
Exactly.
Custers. Viewers, thank you very much for all of your questions. Remember, you can have us drop knowledge bombs on your face by writing Xplay at G4TV.com. And be creative. We get asked what your favorite game is every single week.
We do? Yes. All right, Syndicate was an early game designed by Fable creator Peter Molyneux, and fans have been asking for a follow-up ever since.
Well, it's here, though not what you'd expect. No. It is not an isometric strategy game. It is a first-person shooter from the developers of Riddick.
It was a good game. Find out if that's a good thing in our review.
Unlike its 1993 predecessor, the new Syndicate probably won't be considered a classic in 20 years' time. However, its habit-forming co-op mode does a lot to offset its flaws.
Showtime.
Those flaws mainly lie in the single-player campaign. You play a cybernetically augmented agent with the most ridiculous name in recent game history, Miles Kilo.
I have a lot of confidence in you, Kilo.
Miles is enhanced with a biochip, the iPhone of dystopian 2069.
Fueled by adrenaline, its users experience unsurpassed connectivity with the Dataverse.
Your advanced version, called a Dart 6, lets you hack into enemies' own chips. You can use this to make them do things like kill themselves against their will. It can also temporarily overlay your vision, which not only displays enemy locations, but slows down time and boosts your power and defense. It lasts a very short time, so it doesn't become a win button, and instead is something you have to use strategically. An ambitious storyline involving corporate corruption and free will is torpedoed by painfully linear progression and an odd tendency to take freedom away from the player. Long, droning scenes about corporate politics rarely enthrall in a video game, even if it's delivered by Brian Cox.
Next time, make an appointment.
Bad pacing plagues the entire campaign, especially in the tediously long boss battles. They drag on for many minutes after you've already figured out their simple patterns. Much more successful is the co-op mode.
I think you're gonna like this.
You and up to 3 other players can tackle 9 specially designed missions using customized characters and loadouts separate from Mr. Miles Kilo. In fact, the abilities and options available in co-op make it feel almost like a totally different game. Instead of 3 hacking abilities, you have access to 12 in co-op, many focused on team support. Abilities can be upgraded using the experience and blueprints found during missions to create a custom character for any offensive, defensive, or support role you wish to play. The campaign may fall flat, but the extended depth of co-op does a lot to make up for that. It's a little too complex to play with random online people, but if you can gather a team of friends, you'll have a blast. a 4 out of 5. Stay tuned to Xplay because in the coming weeks, we've got exclusive new trailers for BioShock Infinite and Borderlands 2. All that and more, don't miss it. Plus, a gaming rig that is like stupid expensive. $15,000 stupid expensive.
I already have a couple of them in my house. I mean, whatever.
Wow, really?
No.
What do you get for that much?
I don't know.
Pizza. I would hope. Okay, anyway, there's some really fun stuff coming up, not just next week,
yes,
but in the weeks to come.
Yes, we actually have exclusive trailers for BioShock Infinite and Borderlands 2.
And if you saw that Borderlands 2 trailer this week,
so cool. Thanks for watching.